The Brexit fisheries row was a completely avoidable crisis, an MP has claimed, laying the blame solely on Theresa May and David Davis. Negotiations on a post-Brexit trade deal with the EU had looked to be on the verge of collapse earlier this month when Boris Johnson threatened to pull out of negotiations with just weeks to go before the transition period deadline on December 31. Both sides have now resumed talks, with the EU's chief Brexit negotiator first travelling to London for crunch meetings with UK counterpart Lord Frost, before negotiations quickly moved to Brussels on Thursday, as hopes rise a trade deal can be agreed in time. However, Brexit negotiations have been dogged by bitter rows over both sides' stubborn positions on a number of red lines, with fisheries arguably being the biggest stumbling block. Britain wants fishing quotas to be renegotiated in an annual basis, but the EU has argued this would make it impossible for the industry to make investment decisions, with French President Emmanuel Macron being one of the UK's strongest critics. Mr. Johnson has vowed to protect UK fishermen in any trade deal with the EU, often promising, "We will take back control of our waters." But Alistair Carmichael, the Liberal Democrat MP for Shetland and Orkney, has launched a scathing attack against the Tories, warning they made a strategic error with fishing during early negotiations with the EU. He lashed out at Theresa May and then Brexit Secretary David Davis for not including fisheries in the original withdrawal agreement with Brussels. When asked if an unnecessary crisis was created by not including fisheries in the withdrawal agreement and only the political declaration, Mr. Carmichael told Express.co.uk, "Absolutely, and when that withdrawal agreement was made, I had an urgent question in the House of Commons to Michael Gove saying exactly that." Reading between the lines, I think David Davis and Theresa May between them made a strategic error of judgment there because they didn't understand the strength of feeling there is in the fishing industry. At that point, they would almost have tried to sell out the fishing industry at a later date, but once they realized the strength of feeling that there was, then they found themselves trying to claw it back. It was up to them. They made the promises, and having made those promises, they should have delivered on that. They have made a rod for their own back there.